Hey everyone, it's Foxx from Model Making Guru here. Hello, welcome to another Warhammer Sundays. Yes, I just need to move my enormous cup of... Sorry, it's tea. Sorry. Yes, welcome to Warhammer Sundays. How is everyone? Yeah, that flag doesn't want to cooperate. It says no. Yeah, it didn't. It's like, come on, flap. Damn you, sir, flap. No, oh well, never mind. Welcome to everybody. I shall quickly go through the chat in a moment and see who is in, but welcome to another Warhammer Sundays. If you've never seen one of these before, this is where I basically sit and work on my Warhammer army, the unending forces of the Holy Contrivance, a Mobile Suit Gundam Principality of Zeon themed Warhammer army. It's all Imperial, but it's all painted up to be like a Principality of Zeon thing. Give me 1 second, I shall be back in 1 moment. My apologies, there was a big crash and a bang and I had to go and see what it was. It was next door putting stuff in the bin. Yes, it is my Principality of Zeon themed army. It's all Imperial, but they'll all have a Zeon theme to them, and I'm just going to build them up. And Warhammer Sundays, I just work on them at the weekend. Warhammer Sundays is just a hangout for you guys, 2 or 3 hours where you guys can just hang out in the chat with each other, have a good time. I'll waffle on for 3 hours about random nonsense. We'll give some stickers away, we'll give some prizes away in the wheel of giveaways, oh yes, and we'll just have a good time basically. So I figured I may as well let you guys hang out while I'm working. So yes, today we're going to be doing decals on our armigers. I'm working on my 3 armigers for my army, so we'll have a look at those in a moment. If you've never seen one of these before, it's quite simple. Hang out in the chat, just have a good time. If you are watching this where you can't see the chat, there's a chat here, there, but if you can't see the actual live chat where you can type in your responses, then all you need to do is hit the little YouTube icon down in the bottom right hand corner. It's down here somewhere. If you're watching it say through Twitter or Facebook or Patreon, wherever I post it up, just click on that little YouTube icon or the link if there's a link in the post, and that will take you to the YouTube page where you can join in the live chat. And it's worth it because A, everybody in chat's really cool, let's get on everybody's good side, and we'll give stickers and stuff away later on, so it's always worth joining in the live chat. Plus it's just fun to hang out. Instead of just having me talk for 3 hours, you've got other people to hang out with and have a good time. So where are we up to? Well, one other thing, as always, if you've never seen one of these before, as always, we'll be doing the stream boss battle. As you can see from a few weeks ago, Aviad Madar became the new stream boss and his health started at 100,000. What is stream boss battle? Dead simple. You need to get the health down for Aviad bit by bit each week, and whoever gets him to 0 becomes the new stream boss. And what does the stream boss win? The stream boss wins 200 or 300 quid's worth of Warhammer gear. Yes, let's just cut to the chase and say it's going to be 200 or 300 quid's worth of gear. It can be something else if you don't want Warhammer, but it's a Warhammer stream, so let's just, for the sake of argument, say it's 200 or 300 quid's worth of Warhammer kits. That's what Aviad got. How do you do stream boss? Dead easy. You can just subscribe to this channel. That takes a little bit of Aviad's health off. You can do a super chat, which is the little $sign at the bottom of the chat window. That just pops your comment up in a big coloured box. That's also handy if you want to ask me a question, because I'll see it and it'll give me a little audio symbol. Or you can do a tip to the tip jar, which is down there. It's at streamlabs.com/model making guru. The more you put through as a tip, or the more you put through as a super chat, the more health you take off, and whoever gets him to 0 come in probably 200 or 300 quid's worth of gear. So keep those tips and streams, keep those tips and super chats and subscriptions coming through, and we'll slowly whittle its health down. Now let's have a look and see who we have in the chat. Let's have a look. If you can hear the fan again in the background, my apologies. It's been quite miserable for the last couple of weeks until I turned the cameras on this today and it went all hot and sunny again, so I've got the fan out again if you can hear it. We have Frankie Goes to Hobbywood is in. He says popping in and out today because he's at work. Boo hiss. Oh, I need to turn off some notifications before we go anywhere, just in case you can see my chat window. Oh, hello, who was that? That was what was that then? What was that? Tony Blackwell, whale oil beef hooked. Yes, thank you very much there, Tony. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Whale oil beef hooked. Sounds nice. thank you very much. Little tip gone through there. Health gone down. Oh, Aviad's got some black on his health bar now. Look. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, so it begins. I've just got to turn some notifications off on my iPad, because you don't need to hear every time somebody sends me a message on Facebook, or you don't need to see every time somebody sends me an email, because that would be quite annoying, and also a breach of confidentiality. So let me just go back to that. There we go. Hey guys, I've got to tell you, if you've got an iPad, get yourself a keyboard for an iPad. It's just brilliant. It's the best thing I've ever bought. It's just so awesome. It makes life so much easier. I can sit outside and do emails and Facebooks and stuff, and I'm not using the crappy keyboard on the iPad. It's great. Where was I? Yeah, so Frankie's going to pop in and out from work. Oh, let me know if I sound and look okay, by the way, guys. I've set it all up, so it should be working fine. Nimcinderin is in. Mickle Pickle is in. Jacob Rays is in. Hello, guys. And greetings, Mr. Fox. Greeting, Jacob. James Lorimore is in. Welcome. Ghost Lyle was in, and then he disappeared. Strangely, Ghost Lyle just vanished. I don't know where he's gone. I think he's away doing something very important. Probably for an employer of some sort, quite possibly. We have some guy called Model Making Guru, don't know who that is. We have not Ghost Lyle in, don't know who that is, never heard of him before. He's not anybody, and he has no useful information as to the location of Ghost Lyle at all. We have Andy Butcher's in, afternoon all, he says, welcome Andy. Beyblade Master, welcome, welcome, welcome. Who else do we have in? Galen Pellers 07, he says. I think that means something, but hello, welcome, welcome. And where are we up to? Scott's in, Scott Sutherland from Orkney, welcome Scott. How's the weather up in the Orkney? Do tell us, is it nice and sunny, or is it raining, or have you got puffins whizzing past the window in storm force gales? I mentioned that I'm a princess, and Nimcinderin said a pretty beardy princess, and that's sounds really wrong. Ilta Yandowerf is in. Hello all. Hello, welcome, welcome. Rusting Customs Models. Hey everyone. Yes, all the people that win things have turned up. Wayne Haywood. Afternoon all. Welcome Wayne. Chris from Gross Models is in. He'll be your mod for a moment because he's in and he's a mod. So hey, behave. Now, unlike things like the model stream, this is my channel. This is my stream. I don't mind if you use swears in the chat. I mean, don't be a dick, obviously. Don't be an idiot, but I don't mind rude words and things in the chat. It's open house in the chat. We're all grown-ups here. We're all mature adult. Well, let me rephrase that. We're all adult. Well, no, we're all over 18. Well, then again, we're all big kids. What can I say? We're all grown-ups, so you're allowed to swear and stuff. Lee Gallop is in. Hello everyone. Hi Mr. Fox. Hello Lee. Pascal Lievers. Hey hey hey. These are all names that I've had to put on envelopes recently. It's quite amusing. Jonathan Tirasa Tannen is in. Morning. Yes, there's an envelope going out to him, I think. Interzone 88, welcome, welcome. Stefan Last, hello, I'll be around here sort of through most of the show. There are things I need to attend to, but I'll be within viewing range mostly, or at least listening range, says Stefan. Welcome, welcome. 07 is a salute. Aha, excellent. I salute you with my hand there because there's no head here. Hello. Yeah, 07, there you go. I knew it meant something. Right. In fact, I'll just because I have a keyboard now, can I do this? Will it let me do it? Galen Pellers 07. There we go. Yes, I can salute back. Haha. So I've got to get yourself a keyboard if you've got an iPad. Do it. Do it. It's a Bluetooth keyboard. Right. Tea today, not coffee because it's warm and hot again. And there's a hair in there. Ew. Get that out. So, what is the plan for today? Well, apart from talking rubbish at top speed for 3 hours, like I always do, because that's what I do. Come on, that's why you watch me. You know what you're getting into. Oh, Thy Creator is in. Welcome, Thy Creator. Tony Blackwell's in. I'm here. Welcome, Tony. I will sit here for 3 hours. I will absorb most of the tea I drink through this piece of tissue because my moustache basically prevents it going anywhere else. Let's have a look. I will sit here and try and do some work. What I will try and do, I started doing, if you remember last week I was doing some work on the armigers, on my little armigers. I've got 3 of them. My army will have 3 Imperial Knights and 3 armigers. Now if you remember at the start, if you've not watched one of these before, I said this is a Principality of Xeon themed Warhammer army. And I mean exactly that. I'll have 3 Knights and 3 armigers. The 3 Knights, I've done one. One is an Imperial Knight Zaku. If you've not seen it and you want to see it, let me know and I'll go and grab it from the cabinet. One is just a bog standard Zaku, so it's battered and beaten and rusted, but it's done as it's an Imperial Knight. It's all in Zaku colours. One, when I get round to doing it, will be a goof, so it'll all be in blue colours, and it'll have Rambaral symbol on it, and it'll be like not too badly beaten, but a little bit worn, but not too much. And then one of the knights will be Char's Zaku, so it'll all be nice bright red, shiny, nice reflective blingy chrome frame underneath, and it won't really be weathered at all, it'll be nice and blingy. And that one, although this will be a Principality of Zeon themed army, Char's Zaku will be done up as a Neo Zeon. I know it kind of breaks canon because it's two different storylines, but that'll be a Neo Zeon kind of thing. So we'll have a Principality of Zeon themed army. So I've got 3 knights, I'll have 3 armigers, there'll be a whole mess of Imperial Guard, there'll be some Tempestus Scions that I've got, we've got some Space Marine, Primaris Marines, I've got some Darkwing Duck, no not Darkwing Duck, Darkwing, Deathwing, I don't know, it's from the old big box set with the guys on the bikes with the wings on the back. Raven Wings, I've got a set of Marines that Vincent sent me. Quite old, but I can get those painted up. We've got some Admech as well, some dudes. We will have a Valkyrie, we've got a Lehman Russ, we've got a Taurox Prime to come. Again. Oh, I need to show you something from that as well. But for the moment, I have been working on my armigers. So yes, so the 3 knights will be themed after Goofs and Zakus. The armigers are actually themed, now some of you might recognise this, some of you might not, but the orange colour scheme with the yellow and black hazard stripes, they're basically based upon mobile suit workers, Zeon mobile suit workers from Gundam the Origin, which are like the precursors to excuse me the precursors to the Zakus. Oh, Spid is in, welcome Spid. And it got right tickle in my throat, my apologies. Oh, hello. I think I swallowed a small creature of some sort. So these are basically oh wow, these are basically based on mobile suit workers. So they're orange with the yellow and black hazard stripes. Now on camera they don't really come out as yellow, it looks like orange with black stripes, but they're yellow and black hazard stripes. Now what I've done off camera since last week is go ahead and paint on the hazard stripes. I need to take, my voice is going funny already. Oh right, so if you remember last week, I hadn't started painting the hazard stripes yet. No, I did that off camera. So what I basically did was, if I grab one, if I show you that, if I kind of find a bit where it's a bit easier to see, you can see on the leg here. Can I see that one better? Hang on, let me do some testing. You can probably see on there a bit better. Just yellow and black. Basically, I painted the whole panel with Avalanche Sunset, and then I very carefully brushed over the black stripes with Abaddon Black, and then I went back with the Avalanche Sunset and tidied up a little bit, because obviously I had bits where I'd gone wiggly outside the line, so I just tidied it backwards and forwards with the black and the yellow just to get nice straight lines. Excuse me. Oh wow. I do apologise. Right, I'm going to clear my throat, give me 1 second. Wow, as soon as I have to do any kind of talking for more than 5 minutes, my voice goes. So Avalanche Sunset and Abaddon Black to make the basic black and yellow stripes. Then what I did was I went over with Cassandora Yellow. Was it Cassandora? Yes, the shade Cassandora Yellow. I think I've put it away now and I can't remember. And that was just to go around the edges, and that kind of darkened the yellow a lot, and it put a shade down at the bottom of any recesses, like there, just to make it vary between the lighter yellow and darker where the Cassandora Yellow was. When I'd done that, so you had this kind of gradation of yellow, and the black looked a bit less stark black. I went over paint chips. I painted paint chips over, and the paint chips were just the Avalanche Sunset again, painted over the black. And then inside those paint chips I painted a little bit of a rust colour. I actually used a MIG colour called Shadow Rust. I used that just inside those yellow paint chips, and then I went over with there's a glaze. I've put it away now. One of the yellow glazes, bright yellow, and that again was just to bolden everything up. And then a little last bit of tidying with just the Avalanche Sunset just at the top of the yellow stripes, just to make them a little bit lighter than the bottoms, because then you've got this variation between the light, clean Avalanche Sunset and the dark, sort of shaded Avalanche Sunset. And that's how I did it. There's no other work on those yellow stripes. And the paint chipping was done on top of the stripes and everything else to give them that kind of battered and chipped away look. So that was what I did over the course of yesterday and the last few days when I've had a few minutes free, and then I started putting the decals on. And we're going to go through that in a moment. So that's what we're doing today, is putting on the decals. I'll put that gun back on there. And I think probably by the time we get to next week's show, I'll probably finished all these guys anyway. But the decals will be a mixture of Warhammer decals. You can see there, you've got one on the foot, like the Aquila, and you've got half an Aquila there on his shoulder. And then we've also got some Xeon decals. We've got the Principality of Xeon symbol. Because these are mobile workers, I've got the Xeonic symbol on there, because I was looking on the internet at images of the mobile workers, and some people have done like mock-ups in art mock-ups and concept builds and custom builds of mobile workers, and they've got the Xeonic logos on them, so I've decided to put those on. And that's really it. Nothing too complex, not tons of decals on these, because I'm just going to keep them simple. So that's where we're up to. So I'm going to be doing the decals today, very shortly. I need to put that somewhere. I've not got enough space now for all these dudes. I'll put him there. Now, I'll put him over there actually for a moment. Now, before we get going, let me have a quick look at the chat. Thy creator says, I wanted to win this week because the book looked cool. I'm starting a Warhammer army as well. Still trying to decide. Any suggestions? Whichever one tickles your fancy. In terms of variation, ultimately, in terms of the sheer number of different things you can have in your army, you can't go wrong with Imperial. You know, aligned with the Imperium of Man, so that could be Imperial Guard, Tempesta Scions, it could be Space Marines, it could be you know, AdMech, it could be lots of different groups. It's not just Space Marines. So in terms of different things you could have in an army, the Imperium has got the most variation by far, because there's just the most different things that are all aligned to the Imperium. But just go for whatever tickles your fancy. I would say if you're just starting out and you definitely want to build an army to play, you can't do much worse, you can't do much better actually, than the start collecting kits. Have a look at the start collecting boxes. They've got one for pretty much most of the different factions. They're usually about 50 quid, or the equivalent in dollars, but you usually get about 90 to 100 quid's worth of stuff in the box, but they're about 50 quid, and it's typically a squad of 10 dudes and a vehicle of some sort, something like that. Have a look at the start collectings. It'll get you used to building large numbers of dudes, and it'll get you used to, you know, painting and everything else, but it'll also give you a good force that you can then go and play on a table straight away, because you've got enough people as a sort of small army there to do some testing and playing with. But they're also exceptionally good value. Instead of buying 3 or 4 packs of dudes in a vehicle that cost you 70 or 80 or 90 quid, go and get a start collecting box. But just go for the one that tickles your fancy, whichever one looks cool. Sunny and breezy in Orkney at the moment, Fox says Scott. Cool, we've got sun and a bit of breeze, so about the same here. Spid is in. Lee Gallop says, I wouldn't worry about breaking cannon. You've sort of already done that. Yeah, I know, but I have you know, made up some fluff. A lot of fluff. James Lorimer is saying he's now the Queen. I have no idea, Lee. James Lorimer says James says he's the Queen of Pinaplia and his name is Queen Fluffy Stubbs. I think it's because nobody knows where what's his face has gone. I've forgotten. I'll just move on from that now, because my brain's actually just stopped. Where are we up to? I've been doing decals on my ZZ Double Zeta. It's been a week so far. Hopefully I'll be done today or tomorrow, says Lee Gallop. Yeah, he's working on his Double Zeta Gundam. Yeah, it's a lot of decals. Vicar, always a winner. Oh, George Flouter's in. Welcome, George. Speedy Q8 says, not Ghost Lyle, why are you not? And not Ghost Lyle says, don't question it. Yes. He's not Ghost Lyle. He doesn't know where Ghost Lyle is. Nobody knows the location of Ghost Lyle. But not Ghost Lyle is not Ghost Lyle. There you go. Now, yes, a little bit of update. Aculeus5 says, hi Fox, back from my holidays. Do you want questions? Yes, always. I forgot to say, by the way, if you are watching this and you're in the chat, if you want to ask me a question, for the love of dog, please do, because it keeps me going for 3 hours. It gives me something to talk about. Send me your questions. Can be questions about anything. It doesn't have to be questions about making models or Warhammer or anything like that. It could be questions about anything. If you're in chat, you can pop your questions excuse me, in big fat capital letters so I can see them in chat or have a better chance of seeing them. If you want them definitely seen, you can do a super chat, which means it'll be in a big colourful box. There's a little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat. It'll be in a big colourful box and it'll make a noise and I'll notice your comment that way. But if you've not got access to the live chat, don't panic. You can send me an email. I have a new email address. It's not a new email address, but it's the correct email address. And it's not there. It's there. fox@modelmakingguru.com. It always was that. I just never got round to sorting it out. So it's fox@modelmakingguru.com, which is much more professional than a Gmail address. So if you want to send me a question, you can't get into chat, send me an email and I'll get the question that way. Don't forget, of course, as well, we will be doing sticker giveaways later on where I do a question and answer, and whoever gets the answer right first wins a sticker. If you want to, you can send me the question and answer to use during that segment. If you do, you'll get a sticker if I use your question and answer, and all you need to send me is the question, the answer, ideally the correct answer, because I don't want to start fights in the chat, the question and the answer, but please include your name and address in the email, because I don't want to have to mail you and say, brilliant, thanks for that, what's your name and address? So just your question, your answer and your name and address, and if I use your question, I'll just send you a sticker out. So there you go. Let's have a look. Andy Butcher says, I've managed to get very little done on the Gundam Bale, but I've decided what I'll be building next. Is it Warhammer? Yeah. James Lorimore, I decree a search for the Ghost Lyre. I am Queen, I have spoken. George Flouter says, question, if you call a vacation holiday, what do you call a holiday? Holiday's holiday. See, we're English, we don't really use the word vacation. We just use the word holiday, but we kind of do nowadays. We're getting very American in our habits. I kind of like the word vacation. Mike Mountain, or Dad, is in. Welcome, Dad. Dad is also a mod in the chat, so be nice to Dad. Like I said before, it's my stream. You can use rude words and stuff. We're all grown-ups here. You can kind of do what you want in chat, but don't cross the line, obviously. No politics, no religion, no blah, 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 blah. Wow, words. Don't be a dick, basically. So welcome, Dad. Question, now another one. Fox says, SpeedyQ8, Fox, have you checked out this magazine everyone's mentioning? It's funny you should say that. It's funny you should say that. About an hour ago, Mum sent me to the corner shop. Mama Fox sent me to the corner shop. She says, right, we need toilet rolls, we need milk, we need bread. Okay, cool. Wandered round to the corner shop. Toilet rolls, milk, bread. Oh look, there's the Warhammer magazine thing on the shelf, and I may have just bought 2 of them. Yeah. Yes, I got myself. I will have a quick look at these. In case you've been wondering, I got myself the new Warhammer subscription thing, Warhammer Conquest. Battle games in the 41st millennium. I'll move these out of the way. Where are we? Now I haven't subscribed because I haven't got 25 quid a month to spend on a subscription. I can't afford it. So, but I walked in the shop and they had 2 copies of this, and this is £1.99. And the way it's a Hachette, and it's a Hachette. I'll start again. It's a Hachette periodical, or what's the word they use? Part work. That's the one. It's by Hachette. It's not a D'Agostini. And every time somebody reviews this online and says it's a hatchet periodical, I cringe, because it's Hachette, the French. It's Hachette, not hatchet. It's not axe. Oh, learn to pronounce your French words, people. It's Hachette. Anyway, it's a part work, so it's like 4 issues a month. And what they've done is basically, the first one is £1.99. £1.99, and I will tell you in a moment when my keyboard doesn't pop up on screen. I will tell you why you all need to go out and buy this. You don't need to necessarily subscribe, but you need to go out and buy this first issue. I'll tell you for why. Because for £1.99, if you're in the UK, it's unfortunately UK only at the moment. If you're in the UK, I might be in Europe, I don't know, and you've got £1.99 space pence, you can get this magazine, this big poster, you get 3 paints, and you get 3 Space Marine dudes in the first issue. These are worth about a tenner. That's about 7 or 8 quid's worth of paint. This isn't worth much. Oh, and you get a brush, but the brush is the crappy starter brush that's worth about 50p, so we don't really count that. So you're basically getting tenner's worth of figures, let's say 7 or 8, round up to tenner's worth of paint for £1.99. I got 2, so I've basically got about 15 quid's worth of paint, and about 20 quid's worth of figures, because I've got 2 sets of figures, so 6 dudes and about 15 quid's worth of paint for £4 or £2.98, £3.98. What makes it even better is that one of the paints is Retributor Armour, which is a fantastic gold colour, and this is more expensive than this. This is one of their like £3 something paints. £1.99. Even if you have no intention of subscribing to this, go to your local newsagents or whatever now, Debate Smiths or anywhere, and just grab one. If they've got 3 or 4 copies on the shelf, grab 3 or 4, you may as well. It's a whole mess of paint. Think of it as nothing more than a whole mess of paint and some dirt cheap figures to play with, to, you know, to paint up and practice on. Because this is about a tenner's worth of figures for about 30-40p. So you have no intention of doing it. So what do you get? Anyway, like I said, you get 3 paints. You get Retributor Armour, which is by far the best gold colour. You get Macragge Blue, because they seem to want you to paint Ultramarines, which no, I don't think so. And you get some Abaddon Black. You get 3 dudes. You get 3 Primaris Space Marines. I took a little sort of 5 or 10 minutes earlier on to build one up. This is Captain Doofus, or whatever his name is, I think. Captain Darius, Captain Dingus. What's his name? Hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. Captain Doofus. And you get 2 dudes. Now these are the easy push together, like quick push fit dudes. So you get like the back, the front, the head, the backpack, and 1 arm each. You just push them together. And I will say, they're designed for kids. This whole thing is designed for kids. And you have pegs on the arms that you're supposed to slide the arms on. I could not get this arm to go on, so I've just glued it on. And I've not denubbed him. I've just cut him off the sprue and put him all together. It took me like 2 minutes, apart from the gluing, because I couldn't get this arm to go on. So he needs to be de-seamed and, you know, denubbed, but they're just really nice, beautifully sculpted, bog standard sculpt for Warhammer, for Games Workshop Space Marines. So for literally what, pence, you're getting 3 dudes, 2 Space Marines, and 1 of this sergeant or a captain or something. So go to the shops, however many they've got, just buy them all. Buy all the ones on the shelf. It's literally £2 for what, 17 or 18 quid's worth of stuff. You can ignore the brush. The brush is like, look at that, it's a rock hard nib. I've not put it in water yet. See, it's not very good brush. But yeah, you get first of all you get this big ass poster, which I can't show you. You get a thing saying, please remember to subscribe. You get this big ass poster, which you won't see because it's huge, but it's basically a big ass poster of a Space Marine. Hello, I've come to tell you about the glory of our Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no. You get this massive poster, which is going to go on my wall, and it's got all the blurb, and basically it shows you, if you've not heard of this and you are actually interested in it, because you might be, it's basically going to be like 25 quid a month or thereabouts, 4 issues a month for about 80 issues, and at the end of it, in case you're wondering what you actually get, this is what you actually get. You get all of this crazy shizzle. You get a whole mess of paints. By the end of it, you'll have a whole mess of paints, a whole mess of brushes. You get a painting handle, you get a seam remover, you get loads of tools and bits and bobs, but you get all these guys. You get a massive Space Marine army, which is a load of Primaris dudes, guys on bikes. There's a trike. You get 3 of the floaty dudes, I can't remember what they're called. You get a land speeder, which is about 25 quid. You get a dreadnought, big massive thingy there. You get the floating Primaris space tank, that's the new one. On the other side you get the Chaos dudes, so you get a load of like Death Watch dudes, Pox Walkers, you get the floating fetid blight drone, you get the big tank thing, you get that thing, and you get the tank. I'm not really that into Chaos. And you get all the background scenery. So for that is, now it works out about, if I remember rightly, it's roughly around about 600 and something quid over the 80 issues, which is what, year and a half. 4 issues a month. But if you actually go into Games Workshop and buy all these things, although some of them will be exclusive to this subscription, if you go and buy all these things, it's probably about 800 or 900 quid's worth. So you are getting some stuff dirt cheap. Now yes, it might be cheaper to go and buy the individual things from a third party, and it might be cheaper, but you know, hey, it's up to you. So yeah, it does look pretty big. You'll have a massive army by the end of it. And the good thing is, if you're just getting a couple of figures a week every issue, you're just getting like 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 a month. That just gives you time to get them built and painted as you're going along. And what it should be doing, if I read the thing rightly, as you go along, I think by the 2nd or 3rd issue, you'll have enough dudes to have a little game, and it'll give you some bits to have a little quick game, and you'll get learning and playing. Now, it's aimed at kids, so if you're already into Warhammer and you want to get your kids into it, this is already quite good. You get more subscription nonsense delivered to your door. Need some help? Here's all the Warhammer stores in the world. Apparently. It has lots of background historical information on the lore and the fluff. An empire torn into the Dark Imperium, the 41st Millennium Space Marines, Ultramarines, boring. It's a pity they just give you McCrack Blue at the start, because it means it locks you into painting. If you've not got anything else apart from what comes in the magazines, it locks you into painting Ultramarines, and only boring people do Ultramarines. Lots of fluff. Then it has information about what you're painting. It breaks down the intercessor armour, which is kind of cool. I appreciate the camera's probably far too close. And then you get the simple how to build guide, and it's really basic. It's aimed at kids who've never even built anything before, so it's dead straightforward, and it just then quickly gives you a quick guide how to paint. And the idea is that in each issue you'll get the paints that you need to paint those bits. So for example, in this first issue you get blue, gold and black. So what it says is basically get your dude, paint in blue, paint on the black bits, paint on the gold bits, and then you've got a dude that looks alright. But then it says don't panic, because there's more to do. As you get more paints, we'll show you, we'll come back and we'll paint all the other bits that we haven't painted because you haven't got the paints yet. So it's quite nice. And then it says get ready, your first game is the next issue. It says there. So they're obviously going to go through little skirmishy games as they go on. I think the second issue is some Death Guard Plague Marines, Death Guard green paint, and everything you need to play, some dice and stuff. Oh yeah, so issue 2, playmat, rules and dice. So theoretically you could just get the first 2 or 3 issues and have enough to play some little skirmish games, and then just, you know, get them off the shelf and not subscribe. But if you fancied, you could subscribe. I'm not going to subscribe because I've got 25 quid a month to spend on this. So unless everybody suddenly jumps in and becomes patrons, do feel free to support me on Patreon. Patreon.com/modelmakingguru. If lots of people suddenly became new patrons, I'd probably have more money and I could afford to subscribe to this. There's a subtle hint for you. But yeah, so it's mint. So if you've not, you know, you've not even tried the Warhammer yet, for the sake of £1.99, get yourself to your local newsagent, grab as many copies as they've got, and you've got, I mean, I've got 25 quid's worth of stuff now for 4 quid. There's just no disputing that at all, that it's an absolute steal. So you're kind of crazy, so go and do it. Go and do it now, he says. Anyway, enough nonsense. I'm quite pleased to got all that. I've now got like 2 pots of retro. That is just a brilliant paint. Just for that alone, it's worth £1.99 because that's almost half price. So there you go. Right, have a quick look at chat. Can you use Citadel paints with Ammo MIG paint? Says Interzone88. Absolutely, they're both water-based acrylics. They'll have no problems at all. If you're spraying them, if you're airbrushing them, then it might not be ideal because ammo paints don't spray like every other water-based acrylic in the world. Ammo paints have to be applied in very thin misty layers. They can't just slap them on like most other paints. So if you're going to spray them, then you have to apply them in thin misty coats. Even if you're mixing it Citadel and Ammo MIG, just make sure that you spray them in the thin misty coats, because the MIG paint will go all orange, peely and lumpy if you just slap it on dead quick in a thick coat. But yes, they'll mix together. You can brush them. You can use Ammo MIG paints on a wet palette, although they're quite thin, so you might not need to use a wet palette. You might find they thin the Citadel paints enough. But yes, you can. I've done it myself. But any water-based paints, Ammo, you've got Citadel, you've got Vallejo, loads of others. If they're all water-based, they can all mix together. Let's have a look. James Ramos says he promises to use his Queen Hood to only help those in need. Cool. Jerry says yes, he bought 8 of them for spares and conversions. So he bought 8 of these magazines, 8 of the 199 issues for spares and conversions. The thing is, you just get 3 or 4 of them, you basically got a squad of intercessors. If you go out and buy a pack, if you go out and buy, I can't remember the price, but like a 10-man squad of intercessors is like, what, 25-30 quid? You go out and buy enough to get a 10-man squad, it's only 4 issues, so you're looking at 8 quid. Although, yeah, you've got like 4 sergeants, so you'd have to fudge them around a bit. I swear there is someone missing from the group. No, I'm here, says Lee. Wayne Haywood says, apparently good value to build, but painting instructions leave a bit to be desired. Yeah, they're aimed at little kids. They're aimed at absolute beginners, those magazines. So they really are. I mean, they only give you 3 paints in the first one, so they can only tell you how to paint those. It's not really. I mean, for us, we know how to paint. We can kind of get the idea. we've watched enough of the Warhammer TV videos. We're not going to be worrying. But if it's for you, say your son or your daughter, you'll be there to help out anyway. So it's a good way to get the kids involved. So UK only, unfortunately, says Interzone at the moment. Yes, it is the UK. They probably will stretch it out eventually. Speedy Curate says nice. I think I'll be checking it out. Hopefully there'll be plenty left next Saturday. Yeah, if your local corner shop is like mine, as in it's a small local corner shop who don't actually know what they've just got on the shelf, and they only had 2 copies, yeah, thank you very much. Then they won't really know, and there'll probably not a lot of people that will grab them off the shelf. You go to like your local shopping centre and you've got the WH Smiths and stuff, they'll be off the shelves because that's where everybody who goes there will know about it. But your local corner shop, they won't know. Your local newsagent, all your neighbours won't have a clue, will they? Where is Lynn? I'm missing my queenship. Yeah, where is Lynn? They are released every week, but they have them in Games Workshop stores, although they will sell out. Might not be many left. Some people are buying more than 1 copy, says Chris. I have no knowledge of that. Chris says, tempted to subscribe for Foxx and then cancel after 6 episodes. He'd never know. Oh, damn you, sir. Do we know if it's planned to come overseas, says George. No, they haven't said. If it was D'Agostini, I would say absolutely it would do, probably after about 6 months. Like they did with the Falcon. That was UK only, and then they spread out. Because it's Hachette, I'm not familiar with Hachette at all. And no, it's not Hatchet, it's Hachette. I don't know. I don't know at all. I did read some of the feedback on Hachette, and a lot of the review sites don't rate them very well. I kind of trust D'Agostini because I got all my Millennium Falcon stuff. Yes, I only got past episode 6, but I don't know how good Hachette are. There's a lot of bad vibes about Hachette on the internet. But then I've seen people who did their like massive 5-foot-long U-boat. They did a massive U-boat build part work quite a few years ago. I've seen people build that and finish it and complete it. What do they taste like? Says Ghost. Oh, Ghost Lyle's back. Hello, Ghost Lyle. Your boss has gone then. What do they taste like? Yeah, I've licked him. Doesn't taste like anything. Actually, the other thing is, of course, I'll tell you, this is a different plastic. It's not the usual Games Workshop plastic. It's kind of lighter and looks more. It's more like it's like you get in the. If you've seen the Japan only at the moment. Space Marine Hero sets, it's the same plastic. It's kind of more of a crispy polystyrene. It's not a squishy plastic like you get most Games Workshop. It's more of a solid hard plastic, but it's really nice to sculpt if you're carving things off like seam lines or nub marks. It's quite forgiving. It's like buttery, so yeah, it's quite nice plastic. Doesn't taste of anything though. What happened when I was gone, says Ghost Lyle. Nothing at all. I love the binder holes for the Warhammer binder only. Yeah. Because don't forget the one of the things you'll get apparently is like a box, a binder thing to put them in. Question: how on earth do you paint a smooth coat of Uriel yellow? Oh, George Flouter says, I guess it's good we don't have that. I'd probably start Warhammer if we did. I don't need new hobbies. You do need new hobbies. Ghost Lyle became a dictator to the aliens and then they got banished. Yes, how do you paint a thin coat of Uriel yellow? Asks Hyper Griffin. First thing you need to do is base coat it with something that will work with it. Either Aviad Sunset, or maybe a white, just basically a light colour. If you want to get a nice bold bright yellow, you could go with white, but that'll probably make things even worse. Go for Aviad Sunset. Is a really great base colour for Uriel yellow because it's kind of the similar kind of colour and it'll hide the streaks better. I hate Uriel yellow. It's a right pain. I had to do multiple coats when I tried painting it on something. It was like, oh, it's always streaky. It's really thin and watery. So, yeah, base coat it with Aviad Sunset or some other yellow colour that's kind of neutral but similar. And just build it up slowly in thin coats because it is a pain to brush with. If you're getting streaky finish, don't worry, so did I. I couldn't paint with it. Daniel Morgal says, hola! Welcome, Daniel. The last newsagent in Kirkwall has now closed down, so I won't be able to get a copy, says Scott Sutherland. Have you got a Warhammer store? No, it's going to be in Scotland, isn't it? You have to go to the mainland for that. I don't know. Do you have a Warhammer store in? You can't know. If you've not got a newsagent, you don't have a Warhammer store. You can do it online as well. If you've not got anybody on the mainland that can like snaffle up loads of copies for you and keep hold of them until you can go and grab them, that'd be good. If you know anyone on the mainland, get Spid to go and get some, or Smoo. and then post them to you. It's the stuff out of China, I think, says Jerry. Yes, probably. It's like they're the easy fit ones, the kind of push together ones. So if you walk into the shop on its birthday and get a free Space Marine, it's that kind of plastic. Nearest Games Workshop store is Inverness or Aberdeen, says Scott. Well, you've got Jerry, Smoo and Spid, who are all in Scotland land. So I'm sure if you ask one of them nicely and PayPal them some money, they can go and grab a load of copies for you and either post them or keep hold of them for you to collect at some point. Right. So yeah, so £1.99 for 15 quid worth of stuff, or get multiples. You'd be crazy not to. Even if you're not interested in Warhammer, it's just something to paint and it's free. It's dirt cheap paint, and trust me, Warhammer Games Workshop paints, they're just the best paints to brush. Right, let's do some work. What are we on? 341. Yeah, let's do some work. So I started doing the decals on these two last night, and what I did was, as I was doing the ones on these two, I was putting the ones for the other one aside, so I knew which decals to use. Now you'll see these are still shiny a bit. They've had multiple coats of the Microsol and Microset, or the wrong coat of Microset and then multiple coats of Microsol. They've still got a bit of shine to them. I don't know if it'll come out on camera. There, you can see. But that doesn't matter because they're going to get matte coat anyway. Inverness is my nearest, says Spiddy Curate. 80 miles local. Duh. Yes, maybe not a Games Workshop store then, Spid. Maybe just like a newsagent or WH Smith's or something where you can get them. Because you'll probably find your Games Workshop store is the one place that will be sold out, because that's where everybody will go to get them. Because people that know Warhammer will want to pay £1.99 for 3 paints. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend going to a GW store. So yeah, so these are still shiny, but it doesn't matter because that will get matted over when it gets the matte varnish. Now what I did was, this is where some of the model makers out there will have a bit of an aneurysm, because I have not gloss varnished these, yet I have applied the decals. What am I doing? What am I doing? Applying decals over paint. Don't worry about it. First and foremost, if you brush on Games Workshop paints carefully, or any kind of water-based acrylics, they can be kind of reasonably smooth and help reduce silvering anyway. Second of all, these are Bandai official Bandai decals and Games Workshop decals, both of which are fantastic and tend not to silver very much. And because of that, I'm fairly confident, and I've done it before, that I won't have really any silvering at all. Now, they do look shiny, but like I say, once there's a matte varnish, and there's more weathering to come, once they've been weathered over and matte varnished, they'll be fine. They'll be absolutely fine. So if I was making a display model, then yes, I would gloss varnish and then apply the decals and then gloss varnish. But this is just a tabletop model, and it's going to look battered anyway. So like when I do Char's Zaku... Oh, hello, did somebody do something then? Oh, I thought I heard a noise then. Yes, when I do Char's Zaku, that'll of course be nice and not weathered and shiny, so that will have gloss coat, decals, gloss coat and other bits and bobs. But these are going to look kind of battered and broken, so there you go. Right, so let's get on with the decalings. So we have our little dude here, who is the one that I need to apply. So I went ahead and applied some and forgot by accident. Yeah, because I'm special. I'm going to move those to one side. Twang. What I will do is I will... Shall I take this off? I will take this off. I don't know actually, because if I'm going to be working on the decals here and here, then I'm going to have to be moving the camera every 5 minutes. So I'll leave that on. I'll take his gun off. I'll leave that on while I work on him. So I'm going to change the focus. Speedy Curate says there's a slim chance his local post office might have one on the shelf if they slipped whilst ordering local Tractor Babe Monthly. Yeah, local Tractor Babe Monthly, I like that. I'll take the guns off because they just get in the way. Do shout at me if I do a lot of this off camera, because as always I put the camera in a different place and I forget where it is. So we'll get that on there. Right, so it's water slide decal time, so we need the water. Let's have a look. So I have lots of decals to play with. I have lots of Xeon decals, which are, as I suggest, just Bandai sheets of Bandai Xeon decals. I have lots of Warhammer decals for Armigers and Imperial Knights and other bits and bobs, and some print and some Neo Xeon, but these are going to be for Char's Zaku when I get around to doing that one. We don't need any of those. I don't think I've used any Warhammer decals on this apart from the Aquilers, which I need, obviously. Jordan Nash. Hi, Fox. Hey, Jordan. Just for Jordan's benefit. Yeah. Yeah. Glue is setting on some bits. That was Jordan's Strike Rouge Autori, which I'm working on at the moment. Right, so for decalings, we have... Now I was going for not as many decals on these, because these are supposed to be like mobile workers. They're not going to be as heavily decaled and marked up as, say, a Zaku or something like that. So what we're kind of doing is just sticking to sort of simple Xeon markings and Aquilers, because obviously it's Imperial. So I've got some of these decal sheets for Zakus and just generic Xeon decal sheets. If you want to get these for yourself, then just go on Amazon and just search for decal water slides. We've got some there for, you've got for Rambarals, you've got some for the Midnight Fenriers, who I'm using on these. It's a naked lady, it's a naked lady. Oh, she's got boobies and everything. From different little groups. You'll probably recognise some of these if you know your Gumplers or your Gundams. There's some bog standard Zaku water slides, 1/44 scale, which is fine. Got a few sheets of those. I've also got those which these are multi-use Gundam Xeon decals, but they're for specific things, for different. Like there's Gabby Hazard's Zaku 2, there's Robert Gilliam's Zaku 2, Messiah Nakagawa's Zaku 2, Annabelle Gatto. So there's different ones there, and I've used different symbols. Eric Manfield's Zaku. Now what I did on the Zaku Knight, or the Knight Zaku, was I did it up as Eric Manfield, so I used his little symbol. For these ones, to keep them all the same, I've actually gone for, and some of you might know what this is, the Midnight Fenrir squad. It's like an elite sort of crack squad of Zaku pilots, the Midnight Fenrir, and they're from something. I can't remember what they're from. They're from one of the obscure things. But so these have all got, on their pauldrons, they've all got the Midnight Fenrir marking on the shoulder, just because it's fun. Just because it's fun. And then obviously on the goof, I'll be doing lots of Rambaral decals, because it's Rambaral, of course. And on Char Zaku, I'll have lots of Char symbols. Fox, have you ever used Aztecing decals for spaceships? No, I know what they are. I've tried to manually Aztec an what was it? A Reliant once. And that was a fate worse than death, because it was, the Reliant was like, you know, 3 foot long. Never used them, but they can be quite good, or they can be really bad. Depends. Have a chat with TK in the Boom Hut, because he's tried Aztecing on decals on on his Reliant. Actually, I don't think he had a good experience with them. He might have had a good experience. I don't know. Depends if you get them from Aztec Dummy as well, or from someone else onto the quality. I'm convinced Robert Gilliam in Gundam is a 40k reference. Zaku is even painted like an ultramarine. You mean like Rabute Gulliman? Oh, that's a point, yeah, Rabute Gulliman. Rowboat Girly Man. That's a point. Robert Gilliam. Oh, you never know. That's a coincidence, isn't it? Robert Gilliam has a blue Zaku, and Rabute Gulliman, or Rowboat Girly Man, as everybody calls him. I never noticed that. Ah, interesting. Just curious, I'm waiting for some for a 1350 Enterprise NX-01 build. I guess it's one of those your mileage may vary scenarios. Right, so we have lots of water slide decals. Let's put these to one side, where I'm not going to get them covered in water. So what do we have? We need some tweezers. Always with the tweezers. Hopefully I'll do this on camera. We have a brush. And so we should have, we've got a couple of Xeonic decals. Again, I'm matching sort of, not concept art, but there was like fan art of mobile workers, and there's some like custom builds and paint jobs of mobile workers that I've seen online, and I've kind of replicated those a little bit, just a little bit, with the orange and the hazard stripes. So we've got some Aquilas, we've got some Zeonic symbols, we've got the Midnight Fenrir symbol for his pauldron, and of course a couple of Zeon symbols there for the feet. I think I'm missing one. Am I missing one? I'm missing one somewhere. And an Incl one for the feet. Let me cut that out. There is my knife, there is my knife. And I'm off camera, but I'm just cutting out one of these little Zeon symbols for the feet. So how is everyone? I trust you are all well. I hope you're all having good weather today. When I finish this show today, I shall be going and sitting in the garden because it's a nice day again today. I shall sit in the garden, check my Facebook messages and things, and basically chill out. How do I measure my head for a crown or a tiara, says James Lorimore, who's a queen apparently. You have a minion to do that for you, so you shouldn't need to ask. A real queen wouldn't need to ask. Okay, so we've got a big big Zeon, you can't really see it, big Zeon symbol for the pauldron and the little one for the feet. So I'm going to put these back in there. We'll start with the Aquilas first because they're quite big. Right, so let's get the pauldrons done first. So you know how to do water slide decals. Now what I'm going to do is, I do have here my microset and microsol. So I shall get those ready off camera, just there. In my little microset, in my little holder that Dad made for me. Thanks, Dad. My little anti-spillage device from Dad's Devices. So I'll get these in the water first. Now this water was warm about an hour ago. I don't suspect it'll be warm now. This is going to be so exciting. You can watch me put decals on a model. It's not that exciting at all, is it really? Let's be honest. I finally finished my Thunderbolt. It only took me 3 months to do. Now onto my Death Scythe, says Nimcinderin. People are talking about Autobots and Transformers and stuff in chat, and I don't approve of this. I do not approve. I'm going to move this cup of tea because it's right in the way. I don't approve of all this transforming conversation going on. Real men don't talk about Transformers. See, there's Transformers and there's Superman. Real men like Gundam and Batman. That's my philosophy. Real men prefer Batman and Gundams. So we've got these on here. Get a little brush, and we shall apply our aquilas. I can't remember what's the plural in Latin for aquila. I think it's just aquilas rather than aquilae to each pauldron. Now I have to tell you, if you've never used Games Workshop water slides before, I think of all the water slides I've done over, that's not even on camera, is it? Of all the water slides I've done over the years, up until recently, I would have said that Bandai were the absolute best. However, I've changed that now. Bandai are second best. The absolute best by a mile are Games Workshops. If I didn't know better, or if I didn't know, I would guess they were Cartograph. But this one's been a pain. I don't know why. Yeah, if I didn't know better, I'd swear they were Cartograph. I don't think they are, because they're not labelled as Cartograph anywhere. But I'd swear, if I didn't know better, they were Cartograph. Because they're just divine. They go on like a dream. It's really hard to rip them. They can be a bit of a pain over curved surfaces sometimes, but you know, a good squish and a few coats of microset or microsol and they will go down. And they have the carrier film. They have this habit of setting the carrier film and trimming it right at the edge of the decal. So in a lot of cases the carrier film stops where the printed bit stops, which means you don't get a visible halo of film around the edge. Not always, but a lot of times. Like these Aquilas. If you look at these, the carrier film stops where the printed bit stopped. It's incredible. And it's like, I've never seen that before. Apart from, you know, very expensive cartograph sets and those Space 1999 Eagle ones. I've never really seen anything that high quality. I'm going to do the Midnight Fenrir decal. If I seem a little distracted, by the way, I think it's because I think there's a bee in here somewhere. I'm sure I can hear a bee. Probably stuck on my behind my curtains on the window ledge, trying to fly around. I'll have to go and rescue him later. Paul Di Tommaso, hello people, hello Fox, hello Paul. Let's have a look. The Endless Waltz one, aka the new release, cool. As soon as I get my new standing sticks, I'm going to put together those Primaris Marines I got, says Chris the Pyro. Cool! I like Primaris Marines. A Batman Gundam, ooh, says James Larimore. At Fox, Ghost Lyle says, there is a superhero called Captain Canada. Awesome. He's obviously going to be the best superhero of all of them. Yep, there is a... I'm just going to... I'm going to turn the microphone off and pause for a moment because I have to go and get a bee. Hang on. I'll put some music on. This is a right pain because I can hear it. I just can't see it. Stay tuned. Back in as soon as I can. Oh, this is frustrating. I can hear it, I just can't see it, and it is actually a wasp. It's not a bee, so I need to catch it. Stay tuned, I'll be as quick as I can. If it takes on a while, I might just have to stop the stream because I need to catch it and get rid of it. I'll be back as quick as I can. Hang on, I'm not going anywhere yet, bear with me. Hey everyone, right, what I'm going to do, I still can't get this wasp out, I can't find him, I can hear him. I'm going to kill the stream. I'm going to have to, because I'm going to have to spend a little while trying to catch it. I'll see if I can restart the stream again. I don't want to kill it, I just want to get it out, so I'm going to have to be climbing around everywhere. So I'm going to have to kill the stream. If I can restart it again, it might have a different address, but you'll get a notification, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and you click the little notification bell. But I'm going to press the stop button now. My apologies for a sudden stop, but it's a wasp and I'm not messing around with a wasp. I'll hopefully see you in a bit. If not, I'll catch you next week or on tomorrow night's e-model stream. Adios amoebas. We'll do the giveaway. I need to do the giveaways and stuff and the wheel of giveaways, so I'll see if I can get back on ASAP. See you in a bit.